All right, go ahead.
What's going on, everyone? We are so excited to be live with Eric Freeman Sims, and he is a Fairview native and an author, and well, I'm just not even going to do it any justice, so I'm going to let you tell him about him. But first of all, I'm Mitzi Dela Cruz. I'm your co-host of Fairview Live.
Erica Kelly. So great to see you guys again, and so happy to have you. We are so. This is one of our most exciting interviews that we have had so far, because we feel like that you're just going to be able to just talk our ears off and tell us all kinds of history about Fairview and the home and the book. So start us off and tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got to where you are involved in these, it sounds like a lot of different projects right now, and really like what we can learn from you.
Yeah, so I am a Fairview native, like you said, born and raised here, still live here, and I retired from the medical field after 20 years. I was a medic on the ambulance and in the ER for 15 of that, and kind of my body got worn out and all that stuff. And right before I retired, I reconnected with a friend from high school, and she was getting into podcasting.
Okay.
And so she kind of taught me the podcasting world, and she had a popular podcast that I started to produce behind the scenes. And so when I got off the ambulance right before COVID in 2020, I started my own podcast.
Okay.
And I've been a paranormal investigator since I was a teenager.
Wow.
Going out and investigating locations and cemeteries and people's houses and things like that. And so it was just kind of natural to do a paranormal podcast. So I started the Unseen Paranormal Podcast and did it for right until this year. I've kind of retired it at 170 episodes. And I had a guest on every episode talking about different aspects of the paranormal, from Bigfoot to ghosts to haunted locations to all kinds of different stuff. So, and then that kind of snowballed into the book. Because everybody's like, you know so much about paranormal, we talk about paranormal all the time. So then I decided to write Small Town Haunts and Legends of Tennessee.
Awesome.
Because one of my favorite things in the paranormal is the locations you've never heard of, you don't see on TV. Because most people, even people who aren't into the paranormal, are familiar with Waverly Hills, big places like that, or the legends like the Bell Witch,
Right.
things like that. But you might not necessarily know the real story behind your local. You might have heard your local haunts and legends,
Right.
but you don't really know the story behind them. Or you might not even know about some of them. Like in here, I mean, just down the street, we have Werewolf Springs in Montgomery Bell Park in Burns. But a lot of people never heard of the Werewolf Springs or the White Wolf Screamer. You might have heard of the White Wolf Screamer, heard the term, but don't know what the story is. So I wanted to write a book, and it's 70% history, because most of what we do in the paranormal, we're connecting to the history. That's the point of what we do, is to talk to those people who have just moved on to a different capacity, is what we believe, just a different plane of existence. So to go back, 150 years and talk to somebody who lived during that time, that you're trying to ask questions about their life or that time, and to get the direct answers from them is pretty amazing. So the book is about 70% history, because you have to understand the history, understand why a place is haunted, or even where a legend comes from. So like Werewolf Springs, if you understand the stories that have been passed down from the 1800s, then you kind of understand, okay, well, this is where the legend came from. Whether it's true or not, it's still an interesting story. And the park rangers will still tell you the story today.
Well, I'm a little freaked out right now, because my son just started golf. And you know where he golfs, and then I have to take him every single day is Montgomery Bell State Park, which is like 300 or 3,000 acres is Montgomery Bell. And I just told him that I was going to start walking. So I might, decide not to do that any longer if there's werewolves out in the,
People claim to see them, and Bigfoot.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, tell us the story.
Yeah, tell us the story.
For those that don't know.
So the Cliff Notes, back in the 1800s, it's actually called Hall Springs.
Okay.
And it's on the back side of the park. And you can hike out there, and there's a huge spring in the ground. I mean, it's massive, and there's a stacked stone wall that's been there since the 1800s. And it bubbles out of the ground. It's really pretty. It starts a stream. And the Hall family actually settled there with a cabin.
Wow.
Nothing happened to the Hall family. Don't know where this story exactly came from. There's a couple of different iterations, too. But this family that settled that area before the Halls, when they built their cabin, they started hearing this screaming and growling and stuff in the woods, and was keeping them up at night. To the point that it was driving them kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So the father got tired of it one night, because his wife and his kids were afraid. So he took his hunting dog out in search of this, whatever this thing was, making all this noise. And it kind of ran him around in circles, And by the time the sun was coming back up, he got back to the cabin. And when he did, his whole family had been slaughtered by an animal of some sort.
Oh, wow.
And so where they get the whole werewolf thing from is that the other story that goes along with it is that there was a farmer and his farmhand who were coming back from town after they were on a horse and buggy. And it was starting to get dark, and something was kind of following them in the woods, and they kind of get that feeling that they were being stalked.
Right.
And they're seeing glowing eyes in the woods. Well, this thing started chasing them, and the faster the horse would go, the faster this thing would keep up with them. And so they finally decided the only thing to do is each of us jump off each way, and maybe they'll follow the wagon and the horse.
Yeah.
And we'll sacrifice the horse to whatever this creature is. When they did, the farmhand went off one way, the farmer went off the other. It went after the farmer and tore him to shreds. And the farmhand hid until the next morning, and he went into town, and they got a posse that went out looking for this creature. And they found the farmer all torn to shreds. And the farmhand described it as a werewolf-looking creature, a wolf that went on 2 legs. And then they brought in the posse didn't find it, but they brought in this world-renowned, the best bounty hunter around. Yeah. The best hunter, best bounty hunter, big guy, could shoot a gun. And he went in search of it and tracked it to a cabin. And it chased him into the cabin. And he actually hid in the rafters as it was trying to jump up and eat him. And he had shot at it, but he saved one bullet for himself in case he needed it. Because he's like, I'm not going to let this thing eat me.
Yeah, right.
But when the sun started coming up, the creature ran off.
Wow.
And they never caught the...
Now, is that story in your book then?
It is.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, how can someone get a hold of your book right now? Is it on Amazon? Yeah. Is it on Kindle or any of that yet?
So it's on Amazon in hardcover and paperback.
Okay.
It's on Kindle Unlimited for free right now if you have Kindle Unlimited.
Okay.
And you can buy it on Kindle.
Okay, awesome.
And here soon I will have the website up, so if anybody wants signed copies, they can order them directly from me.
Yeah. Speaking of, so don't you have an event coming up here at the Fairview Library?
Yeah, at the Fairview Library. April 26th, I will be doing a book signing here.
Okay.
And I'll have hardbacks and paperbacks for people to buy. And then if anybody's bought them on Amazon, they can bring them in for me to sign, and we'll chat about the paranormal and have a good time.
Awesome.
Interesting.
And what time is that on the 26th?
I believe it's at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay. We'll get up the information.
Just check my Facebook page, and we'll be advertising that. I can ask Tracy whenever we're done.
Okay, awesome.
We can just link that information too in the comments, so definitely keep an eye on that. Yeah. So tell us more about you. I mean, it's so interesting. We were talking offline. We learned a lot. You also have a house, is that right, in Kentucky? Tell us about that.
So last April, we bought a historic house in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. It's called the Knight House, and it's was built in 1815, and it's the oldest still standing structure in the county.
Wow.
And one of the oldest in Kentucky. The Knight family lived there from 1860 until 1945, when their lineage kind of died out. Their direct descendants, and I think it became, because it's a big mansion, so over 5,000 square feet, 6 levels. So I think in 1945 there was no more members of the family that could afford it.
Right.
To take care of it.
6 levels. Wow.
Yeah, the house was originally on 300 acres. It sits on 3 acres now.
Oh, wow.
Original property. We have some original outbuilding foundations that we're going to actually do archaeological dig on this summer.
Wow.
And we got some other original structures and things on the property. But we have it open for historical tours. We just reopened those for the season. And people can actually go on Facebook on the Knight House, or our website is The Knight House, which is KNIGHT.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
TheKnightHouseKY.com. And Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays we offer historic tours.
Wow.
You have to call and book a private one. And those are $10 a person, 12 and under are free. And then we also do paranormal tours, and we rent the house out for paranormal teams to investigate. We also have been we're fixing to do our second public ghost hunt. And what that is people who don't have a team, can't rent the house out.
Yeah.
For the $400 a night that, a team would come in and rent it.
Right.
It's $25 a person from 7 until 11, and they get to come investigate the house with me and my friend Trader Hill, who's an author and a paranormal investigator, is a guest investigator. We split everybody into 2 groups, and we investigate the house from 7 to 11.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're a newfound love for paranormal, or don't have the technology or the equipment and all that other stuff, they can just kind of catch a ride and learn off of you and the other guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we tell a lot of different stories. You learn a lot of history about the house. I tell a lot of the stories about things I've experienced in the past year, owning the house, staying there, and investigating. The house is pretty incredible. So we have plans to do a lot of other things. That's on April 12th at the Public Ghost Hunt. There's still a few tickets available for that.
Okay.
That same day, we're also doing an afternoon with authors, where we're having Cinch Hill, my friend, who's going to be the guest investigator. She's written, she's working on her 5th book about signs from the afterlife, about loved ones coming back and leaving people signs coming back in dreams. So she's going to give a presentation and do a book signing. And then we have Pat Fitzhugh, who's going to be there also, who's another paranormal author. He is the go-to guy for the Bell Witch legend.
Wow.
He's been studying it for 40 years.
Wow.
He's written 4 books on it. And so he's going to give a presentation on the Bell Witch and about the Bell Witch legend and the hauntings and be signing books and things. And those tickets are $15. And you also get the first hour, I will be doing a tour for everybody through the night house.
Now, just in case someone is watching, we have a lot of transplants from other states that don't know about the Bell Witch. I, of course, grew up knowing about it and believing a lot of different things. So give us a recap of that particular story since it hits so close to home.
Yeah. So in Adams, Tennessee, the Bell family settled in that area, and they were tortured by what they thought was the witch. Their daughter was somewhat possessed and influenced by this entity, and ultimately it killed the dad by poisoning him, John Bell. And then there's a cave close to the property, which was supposed to be the witch's cave. And that's just the gist of the story. There's a whole lot more to it where the enslaved people were being attacked by these weird animals, and it's a whole thing. So you have to come. Pat Fitzhugh is the guy to come see. Yeah,
because there's all kinds of legends of how to call the Bell Witch and all of that stuff. So it goes pretty deep on that. But on top of having a house, which I think is just incredible, and obviously a niche love, you also are connecting with is it the Chamber in Kentucky, or
it's Visit Hopkinsville?
The Visit Hopkinsville to kind of reincarnate a old legend or an old party. Yeah. And tell us about that.
So the Kelly Green Men or Hopkinsville Goblin incident that happened in 1955, this year is the 70th anniversary. And in Kelly, which is a little town right outside of Hopkinsville where it actually happened on the farm, up until COVID, they used to do the Kelly Green Men Days every year. They did a Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of festivals that brought out thousands of people to Kelly. And but like I said, COVID kind of stopped that. So Visit Hopkinsville, and the city of Hopkinsville decided to pick it back up this year for the 70th anniversary. So we're doing a 2-day expo in Hopkinsville to celebrate the 70th anniversary, because that area Hopkinsville was put on the map because of that story, because so many people know it. It's kind of like the Bell Witch story. Yeah. And so we're going to do a 2-day expo, Goblin Con, UFO and Paranormal Expo. Wow. So we'll have people from all over the paranormal. So not just UFO people, would it be ghost people, would be Bigfoot, cryptid, a lot of Tennessee, Kentucky things they'll be discussing as far as the speakers. We're going to have workshops as well. Wow. So it's not just going to be people talking at you. Yeah. There's going to be workshops like Ghost Hunting 101, Cryptid Hunting 101, those type of things, facts versus fake paranormal evidence, things like that. I got hired as the event coordinator, so I am actually planning the entire event with all the speakers, the vendors. We'll have over 80 different vendors that sell different things related to the paranormal. Wow. So paranormal artwork. Yeah. Even, I'm talking crocheted Bigfoot. One vendor has.
Oh my gosh. Well, how does somebody get, when's the dates of that event?
It is October 17th and 18th, Friday and Saturday. And we'll be ramping up, for sure, all the advertising on radio, even in Middle Tennessee radio and TV. Yeah. And all that stuff. Coming up very, very soon. So we'll be announcing our speakers as well. So we got some TV personalities that people will recognize from various TV shows and things like that coming too. So.
And speaking of TV, it sounds like you've been on TV quite a bit too with one of the local news stations, right?
Yeah, Channel 2. I've done Channel 2 the past few years around Halloween for different things. Their afternoon show, and then I'll be on there talking about Goblin Con, I'm sure, coming up closer to the time. But I've been on a couple of paranormal TV shows as well, because of places I've investigated and So, and you may see the Night House in the next couple of years on a few too. So
Yeah, you were telling us about that. People that come and stay the night. What was the paranormal TV show that comes? What's that called? Where they come and they investigate all night long at your location?
Well, we've had some YouTubers already
Yeah.
come. I can't divulge the name of the TV shows.
Okay.
Because they're still under
Yeah.
production. But yeah, we've got lots of exciting things going on. I always have 20 different things going on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to stay on top of what you've got going on, the best place to go is
Facebook.
okay.
Eric Freeman Sims on Facebook. You will find it because I will share all the stuff about the book on there. Which the book, I have a Facebook page for it. There's a Facebook page for the Night House that has a couple thousand followers as well. But everything will link from my Facebook page.
Perfect.
For sure.
And so you're managing all of that while you're doing all this other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
That's amazing.
It's ADD is my superpower.
Love it. Yeah, it is a superpower.
Well, before you let us go, tell us your favorite story, Tennessee story, since we're in Tennessee, that you think that would be fun for people to hear.
My favorite. It's hard to pick a Tennessee story because there's so many interesting legends and things in the book. I'll tell you Fairview.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Fairview's not in the book because it's hard to track down people that can give me enough detail to write the stories.
Sure.
But Coach Johnson, who sadly passed away from cancer a few years ago, he was over the ag program out here at the high school, and he's kind of the keeper of the ghost stories with the high school. But Fairview High School is haunted.
Oh.
And Coach Johnson was always there after hours because he was there with the ag program, the mechanics, and I believe he was the volleyball coach.
Okay.
So he was always there after hours, and he did a lot of the locking up by himself in the big giant Fairview High School.
Yeah.
And he told stories of, especially where the gym is in the middle of the school. You know, you can walk all the way around it.
Yeah.
Right.
That he would walk up to, walk around the corner and see somebody turn the corner, next corner.
Oh.
But when he turned that, he'd go down looking to see who's in the building, turn that corner, and then see somebody turn the corner, and just chase them around a circle.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Also, he would take a tennis ball and bounce it around the corner, and it would come bouncing back to him.
That's
Oh
creepy.
my gosh.
Yeah, and shadow figures.